like, we're going to be fine. We're going to be good. And my company was doing well. We're going to be good. We're going to be better than good. Matter of fact, we're going to get a job making more money, doing less work, and really doing what we want to do. What's that old saying? If you want to ever make God laugh, tell him your plans. Yeah, none of that worked. I spent from July of 2024 to December of 2024 applying for university jobs. I did not even get so much as a callback, let alone an interview. And I interview well. If you get me in an interview panel, you're going to beg me to take the job. I couldn't even get there. It just never happened. And so now I'm starting to get a little concerned because, again, my wife and I had a plan, and my company had done well that year, but that was that year. That year was coming to a close, and I didn't know what was on the horizon for 2025. So I said, okay, you know what? Let me go on back to the high school. So I spent the rest of that year, from 2024's December all the way till March or April of 2025, or actually February, looking for work back at the high school. Nothing. But in the meantime, in January of 2025, my company got a contract to do a job that was substantial. And then in February, we got another one. And then in April, we got another one. And it was all good. 2025 was glorious. But I'm not a person who gambles like that. So I felt like, okay, this is great, but I still need my base, my foundation. I teach foundations. Keep you a foundation. I don't call them fallback plans or a plan B. Keep a foundation so that whatever you're doing, until it takes off in a place where it's really flying on its own, because 1, 2, 3 years is not enough to qualify you to say, oh, my business is successful. No, your business had a successful year. Until your business can demonstrate prolonged sustainability, 5 years minimum, you don't have a successful business. You've just had some successful years. And so, yes, we had 3 successful years. But I don't gamble with that. As quickly as that money comes, that money is going to be spent on business expenses, on equipment, on upgrades, updates, and life, because that income replaced the regular check I was getting at the school. And the check wasn't a bad check. So now I'm looking going, okay, this is great. But I still need to lock something in, because I don't want to be in a position where I look up and this money's gone and we don't know what the future holds for this money, for this company. But I know if I'm teaching, I have some stability. So I start looking in the summer of 2025 for work. Oh, and let me go back. So after all those months of looking for jobs in the higher learning institutes, college, I met with a dean of a school, a friend of my mom's, and she said to me, you know, I've heard your mom has talked about how talented you are and how bright you are and how dynamic you are. All true. Shameless plug. And she said, but here's the challenge. Your master's degree is not specific enough. What? It's a master's degree in education. education. She said, right, but what about education? Are you a math teacher? Are you an English teacher? Are you a history teacher? I said, well, no, my credential would have been in English had I finished that. She said, yes, but you didn't finish that. And so you can't even say that you've taught English for a number of years to put on your resume. She said, have you thought about, and before she could get the words out, I said, please do not say, have I thought about going back to school to get another degree? Because the answer is no. Matter of fact, the answer is hell no. I said, listen, I'm in my mid 50s. I already owe student loans $1 million. I don't have any intent on giving them any more money. And I don't want to write another paper, take another exam. I don't want to do any of that. I've done enough of that. I believe that I'm skilled enough to be able to navigate in any classroom. You give me the subject and I have time to sit with it, I can come and teach that class. That's how dynamic I am. These are the things I said to her. She said, I hear you, but without a specific degree, it's going to be hard. I said, well, see, here's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for the hookup. I said, and I'm not shameless about it. I'm looking for the connect. I'm looking for the person that can say, I have the power to hire you. I said, I've seen people teach in colleges where they created a class for them to teach. That's what I'm looking for. And she said, I know what you're referring to, but in a lot of the university circles, that game has changed. And I said, wow, talk about a blow. I said, okay. I said, all right. So you're telling me, she said, yes, you got to go back and get another degree and you might as well get a doctorate since you, I said, I said, you've been talking to my mama because that's what my mama's been singing for years. Go back and get a doctorate. I don't want that. I don't need that. So I said, okay, no problem. Now, meanwhile, remember, my company is having an outstanding year, but I know that things could change at any moment. So I'm not resting on that. I'm looking ahead. But I didn't have a plan this time because now every one of my plans outside of the 2019 selling of the salon have been dashed to the rocks. So now I'm like, okay, the college thing didn't work out. And now I can't even get back to the high school. I can't even find nobody to hire me for that. I couldn't even get a sub job in 2025. I was like, wow, I can't even get a job as a sub. This is crazy. One school that hired me as a sub in 2023, I didn't end up taking a job because I got offered a contract job. In 2024, because even when I was looking for the college jobs, I started applying to be a sub. The same person that hired me for 2023 wouldn't hire me for 2024. I said, it's like, oh, wow, this is crazy. So we're floating. We're living good though, went on a nice vacation and, did some good things. And like I said earlier, we took care of some people and blessed some folk and all that.